Are you planning to travel from Nairobi, Kenya to Rwanda as a West African? Then watch this and get all the information you need concerning immigration, transportation, time of the journey, things to have, and what to beware of on this road trip. So for this trip, I will be using the Modern Coast Transportation Company, and I was at the park earlier to buy my ticket because they don't have an online they don't have an online working platform where you can buy your ticket. So you just have to go there in person. They are there at CBV. You buy your ticket for 5,500 Kenyan shillings and you're ready to go. So the bus leaves at 7 p.m., which means that I had to be there at 6:30. So at 6:30 I was there and ready to depart. So we left the park at around 8 o'clock because there was a bit of delay with the bus coming. But then we started the journey, and our first stop was Nayuki. We stopped over to have dinner, and as you can see, I ate rice with beef stew. I also bought some mandazi and samosa for the road. And yeah, it was time to sleep because after dinner, we sleep and let the driver do his thing. So after a bit, we arrived at the Busia border the next morning at 5:45 a.m. It was an all-night trip before we could get to Busia. Okay, so from Busia, we got to the Uganda border where I was told that I was supposed to have Ugandan visa. So if what you have is a Kenyan visa, you can't cross through Uganda to get to Rwanda, even though Rwanda is visa free. So you can't just cross into Uganda without a visa. So you would have to get a visa before going on this trip, except of course you have an East African visa, which means you can travel through the three countries. But if you don't, you would have to get a special pass, which is $50, or an Ugandan visa. So COVID vaccine is no longer required to enter Uganda. You just need your passport, your visa, and your yellow card, and that is how you cross into Uganda. Um, Provided you already have your visa, of course. So for me, I didn't have the Ugandan visa, and I was made to pay a whole lot of money. I paid $110 before I was allowed to enter Uganda in order to cross to Rwanda. So you want to avoid this and make sure that you have your visa, or you have your East African visa, or your Ugandan visa, or the special pass, which you can apply for online, and it saves you all the stress. So, because of everything I went through at the border, I was frustrated and all of that, and that's why you see my face looking like that. But it's okay. I made a whole of it. I made a complete video on my experience on this journey. I'm going to put the link to that video in the description so that you can watch it and you know don't go through the same thing that I did. So So we drove from Busia to a place called Giganda, and we had to stop there to eat breakfast. And at this spot, I had some chapati with tea and some novida for the road. And we proceeded. So if you're going on this trip, I would advise that you have some toiletries with you. So you can have your toilet roll for the road, because you would see most restaurants and the restrooms do not have toilet roll for you to clean up after doing your stuff. So you should have some toilet roll, you should have some snacks, some drinks and water, because it's a really really long journey. We were on the road for 2 days. We left on Saturday night, and we arrived on a Monday morning. So it's a really really long trip. So make sure that you have everything that you need for this. But the bus will stop at intervals for you to eat, for you to buy stuff, and for you to relieve yourself when you feel the need to. It was at 1 p.m. we arrived in Kampala, so we had to have a stopover at Namayiba bus terminal in Old Kampala. We waited there till 5 p.m., in fact 5:30, before we continued the journey. They said it's something they do, so they stop over there for them to go service the bus and for people to rest and stretch their legs. So what you can do at this point is look for a charging port, because there are charging ports in the place where we stopped over. So you look for a charging port, you charge your phone, you charge your power bank, so that you don't get bored on the way, because there is no the charging ports in the bus does not work. So you want to make sure to do this when you can. Now it's time to continue our journey, and hopefully we get to Kigali on time. After about 30 minutes of starting our journey again, we stopped over to pick some passengers because almost half of the people in the bus had alighted in Kampala. So we had to pick more people for us to continue the journey. So we got more passengers. Now the bus was full, and then we proceeded. So we drove all night. It is very, very long. When I tell you it's a long journey, it's no joke. It's 2 days journey, I think 30 hours thereabouts. So we arrived at Gatuna border. The Gatuna border is on the northern side of Kigali, a place that is known to be very, very cold. So we arrived Gatuna at 6:45 a.m. in the morning, and we did our stamping. They checked all our papers, and we were welcomed to Rwanda. So the drive from the border to Yabugogo, which is town, is about 2 hours 30 minutes. So we arrived down at 9 a.m. And yeah, that's it. We're in Rwanda. This is Rwanda. Welcome to Rwanda. So guys, my name is Missy. You can call me the black coffee without cream or sugar. And if this is your first time on my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. If you've loved what you watched, subscribe, like, share, comment, and stay tuned for more content on my travels and my journey of life. So I'm gonna see you in the next one. And do not forget to watch all about my experience on this journey. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can check the description for that video. It was a terrible experience. Go watch it. Let me know what you think. And I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye.